Hey everybody, it's Jeff from Yawk, and welcome back to my Driving Around New York City with Jeff summer series here on the New York channel. We are well into this series and there's lots more to go, but so far we did Broadway, we did the Brooklyn Bridge and the Dumbo section of Brooklyn, we went through the Holland Tunnel, down Canal Street and over the Manhattan Bridge. We did Little Italy, Chinatown, we did a 5th Avenue video as well as a 42nd Street video, and Today we're going to go down 34th Street. 34th Street is a major thoroughfare crossing right through the island of Manhattan from the Hudson River to the East River. 34th Street is home to the iconic and historic Empire State Building, as well as a little department store we around here called Macy's at Herald Square. So grab your coffee, your Chipotle breakfast burrito. Remember, no crumbs in the car, please. Hop in on the passenger seat and let's take a ride down 34th Street, shall we? Today we're starting off on the east side of Manhattan and heading west. We started out on 1st Avenue in the Tudor section of Manhattan. Now we're driving through the Murray Hill section. We'll be going through Midtown, the Garment District, into Hell's Kitchen, where we'll meet the Hudson River on the west side of Manhattan. So behind us now we have Queens, and in front of us we have New Jersey, eventually. Now because we're going crosstown, we're probably going to hit every red light you could possibly imagine. During this season, I've been pretty much editing out the red lights, but this is going to be a short trip, so I'm going to leave them in and we'll just talk while we wait. Well, actually, I'll talk and you can just listen because you're really not here. This is all pretend, but let's pretend you're just munching on your breakfast burrito, okay? Don't talk with your mouth full. It's not very attractive. Up ahead of us on the left, of course, is the Empire State Building, a 102-story Art Deco skyscraper. It was built between 1930 and 1931. That's right, it took them a little over a year to build that beautiful building. Now, if you were to build it today, between the available workforce, technology that we have, financial resources we can tap, zoning permits, and other bureaucratic red tape, it would probably take over 10 years to build. Isn't progress wonderful? That was a rhetorical question. So the street grid of Manhattan was actually laid out in 1811. That's over 200 years ago for those of you who don't feel like grabbing a calculator. And here's an interesting fact. When they were laying out the grid, all the east-west streets, or the crosstown streets, were 60 feet wide with the exception of 15 streets which were 100 feet wide. 34th Street, of course, would be one of those wider streets. 34th Street is a major shopping street, though it endured a decline in the 1970s. Actually, most of New York City endured a decline in the 1970s. It rebounded late in the 20th century with new stores and a new energy. Coming up soon, the block between 7th Avenue and Broadway is Macy's Herald Square, the famous department store immortalized in the Christmas movie Miracle on 34th Street, which is where we are. And by the way, the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade ends right here on 34th Street at Herald Square. I have a personal Thanksgiving Day tradition, whereas I bake a pumpkin pie, a large pumpkin pie, albeit frozen, the night before, and then the morning that I wake up on Thanksgiving, I always watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I don't think I've missed it ever, and I've seen it live a few times. What about you guys? Do you guys have any Thanksgiving Day traditions? Leave a comment below. Okay, again, rhetorical, and I did say leave a comment below. Are you almost finished with that thing? Okay, take a quick look on the left. That's the base of the Empire State Building. Of course, I don't get a red light here, so we're just gonna fly by it. By the way, the Empire State Building and the Macy's Herald Square videos here on the New York channel are two more popular videos here on the channel. As a matter of fact, the Macy's Herald Square video is the third most popular video on the channel. And there's not a casino in sight. And coming up on the right is Macy's at Herald Square, which calls itself the world's largest department store, even though it's no longer the world's largest department store, but they can call it whatever they want, I suppose. It really doesn't matter because, as you'll see, it takes up an entire city block. The place is huge, several stories high. It's a great video. If you get a chance, check it out here on the New York channel, as well as that Empire State Building video. And I'll tell you, if I was entertaining a guest from out of town, this is probably where I'd bring them first. There's so much here. It's like ground zero. I don't like using that term here in New York City, but it's like ground zero for fun and entertainment. You've got the Empire State Building, you've got Macy's, you've got Times Square just a few blocks away, everything within walking distance. By the way, Miracle at 34th Street is a Christmas movie that's all about this very Macy's here in Herald Square, about the Santa that worked here, and at the end of the movie there's a clue that Santa really is for real. Who knows what that clue is? We'll leave a comment below. Don't forget to look for Cabby, who always makes a cameo appearance in all my 4K videos. Sometimes he's easy to spot, other times not so much. Be the first to comment on the timestamp where Cabby is, and I'll give you a shout out on my next video. By the way, a shout out to Dan Kraft, otherwise known as Real Unc D around here, for leaving a wonderful, huge super thanks on one of my last videos. I really appreciate all the work Dan does for this channel, including the Facebook fan page that he does and the super thanks that he leaves. Thank you so much, Dan, for all you do for the New York channel. As we leave the Herald Square area, close by is Madison Square Garden, the famous New York City post office, as well as Hudson Yards, a brand new community that was built here within the past 5 years, a commercial, shopping, residential area. And as we leave the Herald Square area, as well as the Fashion District, we are now heading into Hell's Kitchen and eventually the Hudson River. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video, and if you are, give it a thumbs up, and while you're at it, if you're not subscribed to the New York channel already, subscribe right now. It really does help the channel out. And while you're at it, if you'd like to support the New York channel, just click on that thanks button right underneath the video. I appreciate your support, guys. And before we drive into the Hudson River, we're going to make a right here on 10th Street and head north into Manhattan. And lots more coming of Jeff drives around New York City. Who knows what's next? Again, rhetorical. Oh my gosh, did you supersize that thing? I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, ask some questions, and most importantly, subscribe by clicking on the button on the left. You can visit all of my New York videos by clicking on the top right, or check out my videos on other favorite places to visit by clicking on the bottom right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around the city.